Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. Welcome you all to my next video. In the previous video, we have studied about flag register and in detail, and also we have seen one example on flag register. Okay, so in today's class, in today's video, we will be learning about the assembly language. Right, I'll share with you the screen. So here, as you can see, introduction to assembly language programming. Okay, we know a little about assembly language programming as we have finished 8085. All right, so we know the basic things that the system understands the language of zeros and ones, binary language, right? So which is called as machine language or machine code. Okay, so earlier the programmers used to write the programs in zeros and ones directly, but eventually what happened was to make it more convenient for the programmer, they came up with assembly language. Now, here, assembly language, right? So, what does that mean? They provided mnemonics for the machine code. Okay, so assembly language provided mnemonics for the machine code, right? Which was comfortable for the programmer to write the programs. But what was the condition in assembly language? It was the programmer has to know the number and the size of the registers. Like we have seen, we have already experienced it, isn't it? In 885, when we used to write the programs, we would know the size of the registers, right? In each and every instruction, we would make sure that the register that is used is valid, and the instructions those are used are valid with those particular registers. All right, the source size register, the destination size registers, all have to be known by the programmer, right? So what does that mean? The entire details of the CPU, the processor, needs to be known by the programmer. Okay, so these, that is the reason these languages assembly language was called as a low level language. Okay, so to convert these low level languages into machine code, that is in terms of zeros and ones, we used assembler. Okay, there are many assemblers available, but the most common assembler used was MASM, Microsoft Assembler. Okay, this was by Microsoft, and that is the reason we call it as Microsoft Assembler. Okay, now then, so slowly and slowly, we came up with the high level languages, which are very user friendly: C, C++, Basic, Java, and all those. All right, these languages are called as high level languages. Why? Because the programmer is very much comfortable in writing programs using this language, right? And in order to convert these high level languages into machine code in terms of zeros and ones, so that your system will understand, we used compilers. Okay, this translates high level language into the machine code, right? So I hope this is clear to you, because we have seen the basics: assembler, compiler, and high level language, low level language in detail in 8085, right? This is what you have to understand here. Okay, and then what do you mean by mnemonic? We know it: commands given to the CPU, right? So the commands that are given to the CPU are called as mnemonics. And what are operands? Operands are the data items on which the manipulation takes place, right? On which the operation takes place, right? Then, now let us see one of the instruction used in 8086. First one is move instruction. Okay. Now, what is the format of this move instruction? Move destination comma source. Move destination comma source. All right. What does it do? It copies the source operand to the destination. Whatever content is present in the source register will be moved into the destination register. The source can be either a register or a immediate data. Okay, moves dx comma cx. But there are a few conditions in this instruction also. So what are those conditions? We will see each one of them. Move dx comma cx. CX is a 16-bit register. CX is a 16-bit register whose content is copied into the another 16-bit register, that is DX register. Okay, so the size of DX and CX is same. 16-bit data is moved from source register to the destination register. Okay, now after copying the content of CX into DX, the content of CX will not be changed. Okay, this point you have to remember, just like in case of 8085. So in 86, CPU data can be moved among all the registers except the flag register. Okay, so what does 8086 say? We can move the data among all the registers except the flag register. Okay, then how do we load the flag register? There are different techniques. Let us see one by one. Okay, now copy move AL comma DX. Okay, move AL comma DX. So what are we trying to do here? We are trying to move a 16-bit data into a 8-bit register, right? So DX is a 16-bit register. The content of the DX will be 16-bit in size. So 16-bit data we are trying to move it to a 8-bit register, right? So which is going to be erroneous. Then move FR comma AX, like we told here. The data cannot be moved into the flag register using this instruction, using move instruction. Okay, no such instruction is present. This is illegal. Loading the flag register is done, but by other means, not using the move instruction. Okay, we cannot load the flag register using move instruction. Okay, then next, move CL comma 55. 55 is a 8-bit data which is moved into CL. CL is a 8-bit register. 8-bit register, yes, it is valid. Okay, move DL comma CL. CL and DL both are 8-bit in size. So we can move the content of one register, 8-bit register, into another 8-bit register. So yes, this is also valid. Move AH comma DL. The content of DL register, which is 8-bit in size, is moved into another 8-bit register, AH register, right? Yes, this is also valid. Now move CX comma 468FH. CX is a destination register. 468F is the immediate data here, and 16-bit data here. So 16-bit data is moved into a 16-bit register, right? (16-bit data is moved into 16-bit register. So how is that done? So CH, higher byte of the register, is loaded with the higher byte of the data. Which is the higher byte of the data here? 46. So 46 will be loaded into CH. And which is the lower byte? It is 8F. 8F will be loaded into CL. Okay, lower byte of the register CX. Move AX comma CX. CX and AX both are 16-bit in size. So what are we trying to do here? 16-bit data from the 16-bit register is moved into another 16-bit destination register, which is AX. This is also valid. Move SI comma AX. What is AX? 16-bit register is moved. The data from the 16-bit register is moved into another register that is 16-bit in size, SI, source index register, right? Source index register is 16-bit in size. You can refer my previous videos if you have forgotten. So this is also valid. Now next, move, move AX comma 58 FC. This is also legal. Why? Because 16-bit data we are trying to move it in a 16-bit register. Okay, so 58 will be moved here. 58 will be moved to AH, and FC will be moved to AL. Okay, now next is move DS comma 2341H. Now this is illegal. Okay, why this is illegal? Because immediate data cannot be moved into a segment register. We are saying immediate data. Okay, Immediate data cannot be moved into a segment register. What are segment registers? These are the ones which are having the starting address of your four different memory segments. Which are the four different memory segments? Data segment, code segment, stack segment, and extra segment, right? So these four segments will be having four segment registers in order to hold the starting addresses of these segments, right? So data segment will be holding the starting address of the data segment. Okay. Now, what is the condition here? We cannot move the immediate data into any of the segment registers. Okay. But yes, we can load the data segment with a address by some other mode. How is that? We'll slowly come to know. Okay. Then move cx comma 8876 8876h. So yes, this is legal because 88 will be loaded into ch, 76 will be loaded into cl. Move cs comma 3f47h. This is illegal. Why illegal? Because CS is a code segment register. Okay, code segment register. So immediate data cannot be loaded into a segment register. Okay. Then move BH comma 99. Yes, it is legal. 99 is 8-bit data which is moved into 8-bit register. Okay. Now here, as you can see, values cannot be directly loaded into any segment register. Okay, DS, CS, ES, or SS. Now, what do we have to do for this? To load, first we have to load the data into non-segment register, then into the segment register. You can consider any non-segment register for this. For example, move AX comma 2345H and then move DS comma AX. Now what are we trying to do? We are trying to move 2345H in DS register. But we are not writing move DS comma 2345H, right? Because immediate data cannot be loaded into the segment register. So for that we have taken one non-segment register, that is AX register. AX register is a non-segment register. So we have loaded the immediate data 2345 into a non-segment register, that is AX, and then we are trying to move the content from AX register into DS register. Okay. Now here another example, as you can see, move DI comma 1400, move ES comma DI. Okay. DI is what? Destination index register, right? So we are loading the data 1400 in the destination index register, and then we are moving the content of the DI into ES. ES is extra segment register, right? So this is the way in which you can move the data into the segment registers. Move BX comma 5. Yes, it is valid, but how will the data be loaded? BX will be loaded with 0005. So BH will be loaded with 00 and BL will be loaded with 05H. Okay. Then move BL comma 7F2. This is illegal. Why? Because 7F2 is 12-bit in size. We are trying to move a 12-bit data into a 8-bit register. So that is the reason it is illegal. Move AX comma 2FE456H. This is illegal. The data that is being moved into a 16-bit register is more than 16-bit, right? So therefore it is illegal. Okay. Let us see the add instruction in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay at home. Take care.